So final 15 for the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Now, I do want to point this out, only because people think that we've known each other forever. I don't think I ever met you before until recently.
Yeah.
And I just said, look, I know what I saw when I saw you play. And I thought there was something different. There was athleticism. You were a great player. Now, the window that you played is probably what, if it does keep you out of the Hall of Fame, would be the the amount of time you
That's
played.
right.
But when you played it at a high level and you were healthy, there was no other tackle that I saw that was better than you. And I'm talking about Anthony Munoz. I'm talking about the greats of the game. So I don't know you, but I know when I see a Hall of Famer. And I look at you the way I do Terrell Davis. Now, he won Super Bowls and won an MVP, rushed for 2,000 yards. But, there's no real number I can attach to a tackle to say, well, but he did this. And I hope you get into the Hall of Fame. I hope you get the call and they tell you on Saturday that you're in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, it's one of those things, you're not playing anymore. There's nothing I can do about it, but it's the ultimate individual honor. And my career is what it was. I got hurt, much like Terrell Davis did. I think when he got in, that meant a lot.
Yeah. How long before you mention me in your Hall of Fame speech? Like how? Because I usually show up a little later.
Probably. And I think, how long do I have? I mean, they say I think
too long.
Yeah. I'm not going to be like the 45-minute where you go on and on, tell your whole life story. So let's say I go 15 minutes.
When do I get mentioned?
11 and a half to 12.
I like it at the very end, where it's emotional.
Emotional, tears.
Yeah. Now, do you cry mentioning me or your family?
Well, I think it's a carryover from my mom and dad to wife and kids. Then the tears are continuing the entire time.
And if you just say, Dan, we did it, then I'm fine with that too. Like, it doesn't have to be a big day, Dan Patrick. It's
how about something like, Dan, without you, I'm not sure this day is a reality.
Okay, that's
something
fine.
like that.
Yeah.
I'll work on that.
No, I'm not joking here. I'm being I'd expect like a damn good shout out.
Well, the good news is there's a local guy named Dan as well who asked me the same thing. So I think I can kill two birds with one stone. Just say Dan, and both of you will think that it's part of the deal.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, good.
Tony is the lead analyst for Thursday Night Football on Westwood One, and you're going to be on the sidelines for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Are you nervous?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm nervous for Saturday. That's the only thing I'm nervous for this week.
And explain this to the audience.
Yeah, this is nerve-wracking.
I think it's unfair to you. I really do. I do. For the 15 finalists.
Yeah.
Because you're all in a room?
No, so actually we're all at a hotel. They fly everybody in. I'm here all week because of the radio with Westwood One, but everyone else is here Thursday. You do an event Thursday night. There's a luncheon Friday. And then Saturday you're told just to sit around all day. And all 48 voters go into a room. And they tell you, be in your hotel room about 3:30, because from 3:30 on, 3:30 to 5, you either will get a knock on the door, meaning you're in the Hall of Fame, or a phone call, meaning you're not. In the last 2 years, I've gotten a phone call. The first year was the worst because I was sitting there. In the first year, I actually didn't think I was going to make it. It was a long shot. And I'm sitting there, and my wife's there, and I hear a knock on the door. And it was housekeeping. Housekeeping. And I opened the door, and I said, and as nice as I possibly could, and I said, will you please get away from me? Leave. And then about 30 seconds later, the phone rang, and they let me know, you are not good enough to be in this group. Please go home now and collect your belongings. They didn't say that, but that's what it felt like.
Okay, put a do not disturb sign.
Yes.
Okay.
So you get the phone call, and it's over. And the hard part about the phone call is now they tell you you literally have 5 minutes to get downstairs and go to the honors because they want all 15 guys at the honors. And so you put the suit and tie on and go to the honors and sit there. And the best way I can explain it is you're sitting there, and we're all type A, competitive guys. You've always kind of risen to the top, been one of the best at what you do. And it feels like, and the Hall of Fame's great about it. Dave Baker does an amazing job, but you feel like they're basically saying, you are not good enough, you've been cut. I mean, that's the feeling you have because there's 15 guys, only 5 make it.
Well, it feels like there's a logjam with linemen this year. So I do think a couple of linemen are getting in. I don't know it.
Yeah.
Steve Hutchinson, Kevin Mawai,
Alan Faneca.
Alan Faneca.
Yep. So
and you said you're better than all of those guys. And I
well, I'm the best tackle of the group. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And I think after what I did to Paulie here, it's clear.
Yeah. It feels like the log jam is gonna bring in a couple of linemen.
I hope so. I mean, I think there's 2 for sure, guys. I mean, Ed Reed and Tony Gonzalez. I mean, is there any doubt they're getting in?
Yeah.
And my guess is if you're handicapping, and probably Champ Bailey be next.
I would agree with that too.
And then there's 2 open spots, maybe 3, depending on what they do with Champ. And I think they should put 2 offensive linemen in. Your last year was 5 offensive linemen in the top 15. Joe Jacoby aged out. He can't be in there any longer. Now there's 4 of us, so we'll see what happens. All great players. I mean, that's the other thing. You kind of look at it, and if you don't get – the last years haven't gotten in, and you want to be mad at somebody, but then you look at the guys who get in. What are you going to say? Like, oh, Ray Lewis, get him out. I mean, he doesn't belong at all. How does he get in there?
Urlacher, he shouldn't be in there.
Terrible. He was awful with the Bears. And so you just kind of go about your business.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.